Hi everyone, it is alenajingle, and today I am here with you to do the ultimate baby name tag. This is a 20-question tag about baby names that my best friend Amelia and I created while she was in town earlier this year. And just in case you don't know, her YouTube channel is Amelia EverythingBabyNames, and on her channel she has a video that we did together just reading the questions to you guys, and feel free to watch that and put your responses on there. And Amelia also did the tag herself in her own video, and I will link both of those in the description box below. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started, and the first question is, what is your own name and do you like it? So my name is of course Alena J. Alena is a Slavic form of the name Helen that means shining light. I absolutely love the meaning of my name. I actually didn't used to like the spelling of it when I was younger because I didn't realize that Alena was a legitimate spelling of Alena. I thought that Elena was the only legitimate spelling because I grew up in the US and I come in contact with a lot of Hispanic people, and that's their form of Alena, and it was bothering me that I didn't have the original spelling. But now that I do know that Alena with my spelling is a real form of Alena, I do love my name. I actually think it fits me really well, and yeah, I wouldn't change it, honestly. I really love my name, and people tell me all the time that they like my name, honestly. My middle name, I'm a little bit torn on because it's just the letter J. They gave me the middle name J because my dad's name is Jason, and there's 3 generations of Joseph on my mom's side of the family, and so just kind of after all those people, and my parents have told me my entire life that I could choose a different name that starts with a J for my own middle name, and I've thought about doing it, but I can never quite bring myself to do it. If I were to choose a middle name right now, it would probably be Yocheved, which is a Hebrew name. It's the name of Moses' mother in the Bible. Anyway, yeah, Alena J. Overall, I really like my name, and in the past I've considered using J as a middle name for one of my own children, but because I go back and forth on whether I actually like it or not, I'm probably never going to do it. The second question is, what are your children's names and how did you choose them? So most of you probably know I have 4 children. They are named Brenna Ruth, Theron Jude, Hugh Clinton, and Keturah Violet. So all of their names are super packed full of meaning for me and my husband, and I have talked about their names so many times that I'm going to actually just go ahead and link in the description box below other videos where I have explained why we chose their names. The third question is, if you had a boy right now, what would you name him? And if we had a little boy join our family right now, his name would almost certainly be Gilbert Fox. That is basically our top combo right now. Our combos are changing a little bit, but for boys. And Gilbert is a family name for both of us. It is also the name of Gilbert Blythe, who is one of the main characters in my all-time favorite book series, which are the Anne of Green Gables books, and I love the meaning, which is bright promise. And then Fox is a family name I found way back in my ancestry. Also, my best friend's middle name means Fox, and my husband's grandpa's middle name is Knox, so I don't know, it kind of could be a nod at him as well. The fourth question is, of course, if you had a girl right now, what would you name her? And our girl names are really set right now. I think we could have 4 little girls join our family and be able to name them pretty easily, and that would be Willa Marguerite. Willa is one of my favorite names, and it's my husband's very favorite name out of all of my favorite girl names. And then Marguerite is a family name for my husband. It was one of his great grandmas, and it means pearl, which is the middle name of 2 of our great grandmas, so it's very meaningful for us as well. Number 5 is, what would you name boy twins, boy-girl twins, and girl-girl twins? And we would of course just use the names we already have picked out in our top names. So boy twins would be Gilbert Fox and Arlington Jerome. Girl-boy twins would be Gilbert Fox and Willa Marguerite, and then girl-girl twins would be Willa Marguerite and Hope Lenora. Number 6 is, what would you name your ideal number of children using all names that start with the same letter? And I don't really have an ideal number. I already reached my minimum, which I wanted at least 4 kids, and I would love to have tons more. So I just did for fun 4 girls and 4 boys, and the 4 girls I did H names: Hope, Harriet, Hester, and Hadassah, and for boys I did J names: Jerome, Jasper, Jameson, and Jair. Number 7 is, what would you name a boy and a girl using only names from your family tree? So this was a little bit hard for me because most of the family names that I plan on using are after someone but not their actual name. For instance, my husband's grandpa's name is Vern, and we plan on using Fern after him instead of just flat out Vern. But my boy combo is again Gilbert Fox. Like I explained earlier, those are both family names for us. And for girl, Vera Marguerite. Vera is a girl name that is in our top combos but a little bit lower down, and it is a name that I found a few generations back on like a great aunt or a cousin or something like that. And then again, like I mentioned, Marguerite is one of my husband's great grandma's names. Number 8 is create names for your children using a combo of your name and your significant other's name. And the only name I could come up with that I kind of liked was Jana or Jana, J-A-N-A. My name ends in N-A, and my husband's middle name is James, so that would be a little smush of those two. Number 9 is you enter a witness protection program and must choose a completely new name for yourself. What do you choose and why? So I just decided to do meaningful names. I decided to go with Ruth as a first name because it's the name of my daughter's middle name, Brenna Ruth. It was my husband's grandma's name. Also, it was my very first favorite girl's name, and I do think it's a name that would fit me personally. And I chose the middle name Josefina because, like I mentioned earlier, I have 3 generations of Josephs in my family, not to mention my middle name is the letter J. And then I chose Miller as a last name because, number 1, if you're going to be in a witness protection program, you're probably going to want a name that's a little bit under the radar. You know, just calm, tame middle name, and Miller is a really popular last name in the US, and also it's a family name for me as a last name a few generations back, so Ruth Josefina Miller is my choice. Number 10, if you could create one rule parents had to follow when choosing their children's names, what would it be and why? And there are so many rules I think parents should follow, and so I just kind of chose a generic rule that would heap in all my other rules with it, which is I think that parents should have to have a certain hour or years or months of research beforehand. And I talk with people about this all the time. Your name taste will change, and when you love a name for a long time and you bring it up to people, you'll start realizing different good or negative things about it, and so that could help you love a name more, or it could help you realize that a certain name might not be the best choice for you. So instead of just using those 9 months of your pregnancy, or some people even just use the last few weeks or couple months of their pregnancy, if you have years of research beforehand, you will know you've whittled it down to your very favorite name to be giving your child, and I think that is so important personally. Number 11 is what would you name a boy and a girl using only nature and place names? And for a boy, I did Arlington Jasper. Jasper is a first name, and Arlington is a first name in my top boy combos. Just not together. Arlington is a town in Virginia, and then Jasper is of course a gemstone. And for girls, I did Illyria Fern. Illyria is an ancient civilization and kingdom, and then Fern of course is a plant. Number 12 is name a boy and a girl using your own initials. That's really easy because I love tons of A and J names. So I did Arlington Jerome for a boy, which we already have in our top combos, and Agatha Yohebed for a girl. Agatha is a name that I absolutely adore, but we probably won't ever use because we have Talitha, which sounds really similar, in our top girl combos, and my husband doesn't really like Agatha that much. Sometimes he says it's okay. But anyway, so Arlington Jerome and Agatha Yohebed. Number 13 is if you could only choose names from the top 100 US baby names for the most recent years, what would you name a boy and a girl? And I chose Adrian Liam for a boy and Eleanor Clara for a girl. Liam is a name I think is super adorable, but it's just so crazy overused. I could never consider using it, probably even for a middle name. And then Adrian is a name I had in my extended top boy combos in early high school. It was Adrian Drew. And then I had Adrian Job in my top boy combos in the first year I was married because I didn't realize how popular Adrian was at the time. But I do like both of those names a lot. And then Eleanor could be a nod at me because it has the same meaning as my name and my husband's grandma, Nora Lee. And then Clara is a name that I actually really love and have had in the middle name spot in my top combos before, but I just know a lot of people who love that name and would like to use it, and so I don't really ever put it in my top combos anymore. But anyway, so Adrian, Liam, and Eleanor Clara. Number 14, do the same thing. You can only use names from the top 100 UK baby names. What would you name your child? And I chose Frederick, Arthur, and Harriet Zara. All 4 of these names are names that are in my top extended personal favorite list, but none of these are currently in my top combos, but I could very happily name children Frederick, Arthur, and Harriet Zara. I love them. Number 15, name a boy and girl using names only from your favorite TV shows or movies. And I don't really watch TV, and so I did my favorite movies. I'm kind of a movie junkie. And I went with Fitzwilliam Arthur again, and Jane Louisa. Fitzwilliam is from Pride and Prejudice. Arthur is from Inception. Jane is from Pride and Prejudice and Mary Poppins, and then Louisa is from The Sound of Music. And almost all of those are family names for me as well. Number 16, name a boy and a girl using only names from books. And this was super easy because a lot of my favorite names are from books because I read a lot. And I went with Shasta Ebenezer and Cordelia Fern. Shasta is the name of the main character from The Horse and His Boy by C.S. Lewis. Ebenezer is from A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Cordelia is of course from the Anne of Green Gables books, and then Fern is from Charlotte's Webs. Shasta Ebenezer and Cordelia Fern. Number 17, what would you name a boy and a girl using Q, X, Y, and Z names? This was actually really hard for me. I mean, I know that sounds obvious, but I mean, I love so many names that you wouldn't think it would be hard for me to find names I love, but I went with Yarden Quaid for a boy and Senya Yael for a girl. And Yarden is the original Hebrew form of the name Jordan, and then Quaid is probably my favorite boy Q name. I just think it's really fun. Senya is currently my top girl combos as a middle name, and Yael, I don't really particularly love it very much with my last name, but it is a name of a really great biblical figure, and also I know a few different little girls in the church with the middle name Yael, so I think that's really cool. Number 18 is name a boy and a girl using names you could never use in real life. And most of these are names that I just could never use because they don't work with my last name, unfortunately. But for a boy, I chose Lemuel Darcy, and both of these are names that clash with Ingle. Lemuel is probably my all-time favorite boy name ever, and it's really sad to me that I can't use it. But these are also both literary names as well. And then for a girl, I chose Susanna Bryony. And Bryony also is a name that clashes with my last name, but Susanna is one that we can't use because my husband has an Aunt Suzanne that we're close to, but we wouldn't really name a child after, so it'd be kind of weird for us to use it. And then I have a cousin named Susan who has told me before she doesn't care if I use her name, but the thing is I've talked names with her a whole bunch, so it'd be really weird if I used a name that was similar to hers. Number 19, if you could rename a celebrity baby, which one would you rename and what would you rename them? So I actually haven't thought about this too much. I don't tend to like most celebrities' babies' names. Sometimes I'll like just the first name or just the middle name, but I went with Northwest because number one, she is one of the most absolutely beautiful babies on the planet. She is just absolutely gorgeous. And number two, her name is preposterous. I think North is a fine name for a boy or a girl, but Northwest is not acceptable at all. But I think that she could really fit an N name very well. So I went with Nayama, and then I just thought she could use another exotic middle name. So Nayama Lourdes is what I chose for Northwest. So it would be Nayama Lourdes West or Nayama West. And number 20, the last question for this tag is, are there any other names that you want to mention before the tag is over? And I recently made a top 100 favorite boy name list and a top 100 personal favorite girl name list. And since I made those lists, I've fallen in love with two new names that I just haven't worked into my list yet. And so I'm going to go ahead and mention both those names. One for boy and one for girl. And the first is Didymus for a boy. This is a name I've always been aware of, but I never really found usable. And out of the blue, I just absolutely fell in love with it. Didymus is the name of Thomas in the Bible, and it means twin. And Thomas is a major family name for me, but I would never use it because everybody in my family keeps using the name Thomas. And so if I were to use Didymus, it could be after lots of family members, including my dad and his dad. So it's a name I've been pushing on my husband a little bit. He's afraid it's unusable, but I had a friend recently name her son Aquila, which is also a very unusual biblical name, and so I feel like if they grow up in the same circle that it wouldn't be too unusual for a little boy to wear. And the girl name I am really liking lately is Makeda. Makeda is the alleged name of the Queen of Sheba in the Old Testament in the Bible. And it is an Ethiopian name, and it means greatness. I think it is really beautiful, and I think it's super cool, and I love that association. I am afraid that Makeda sounds too similar to Michaela, which is a name I'm not crazy about, and so I would probably just call her Mackie as a nickname most of the time if we were to ever use that name. Thank you so much for watching this tag. Please feel free to answer these questions in the comments below, or to make your own video, and we will make sure to watch your guys' tags and comment on them. And again, I will link all the videos I mentioned in this in the description box below, and feel free to check this out and have a wonderful day.